The Crank's entire content is all about me.
Once again, another show about me? Where's your Bleffy content?
None! I can actually handle the work, and I am able to hold my own on live streams without the need of the help of several other generally unintelligent individuals to prop me up. I also don't regularly steal other people's work and claim it as my own and then ramble on pointless, non-critical thinking, lackluster, and unintelligent live stream. Divishly, I ensure that I vet everything I present on an ongoing basis as much as humanly possible so that I'm not unknowingly spreading false information or this type of outright and blatant disinformation!
But the issue was completely put to rest almost a year ago, and it's absolutely clear that she is, was, and always has been lying to you, and that is a proven fact.
As a matter of fact, what happened to Monsieur Rank Blackout? Why is this group suddenly going back on the attack and directing all of these attacks against me, Christina, and Erica in an attempt to counter the legitimate issues we've raised over the past few months? Have you noticed an increase in the drama and gaslighting yet? A great message for today. Say no to cruelty and division. Choose to lift someone up today instead of breaking them down! Say this case is a sword because the investigators hired to defend Rick Allen now have the information that others chose to withhold from us for 3 years, and we actually know what to do with that information to generate arrests of the guilty and their co-conspirators. It's disgusting and maddening to learn that YouTubers being controlled by a dirty lawyer intentionally withheld crucial information while trying to make money off of exposing it. Still dying on that hill!
So good. It's still not old. Still
so
not
nice
old.
we had to do it twice.
Yeah, literally. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Happy Friday. Hi. Keith, thank you ever so much for being here this evening.
You bet. What's going on, God's children?
God's children.
Sorry I'm late. I was busy telling the police in a vehicle somewhere in the middle of Indiana that my closest friend and roommate, we couldn't be Facebook friends anymore because he was trying to, get some from a 12-year-old girl. So that's why I was almost late. So sorry about that. Yeah. Pretty serious stuff.
So, do you like to torture yourselves sometimes? Because I do.
Yeah. Yeah, oftentimes I will choose the Special Olympics over the normal Olympics.
No.
Yeah. No kidding.
No.
I couldn't believe what I was just watching. It was actually
so
pretty good entertainment.
I was just listening to some Gilcher opinion on the oral argument being granted. Oh God, it hurt. It
Yeah.
also feels amazing. So here's the thing. Like, I don't watch Prof's episodes. I don't watch fucking Daisy. I don't watch Enlighten the Dark, who's suddenly back. Hey, welcome. Like, I don't watch any of those people because, like, and literally if they bring me up, it's just gonna piss me off, and I just don't want to be pissed off. But if I do like have to watch like a clip or something of theirs, it's like torture, right? The Guilters, little more enjoyable, little funnier, little intelligence, a lot less. not very high over there. Anywho, they are coping, right?
Yeah, it's a little tough for them right now. I think they're going through it, and I think a lot of people in this godforsaken fucking community is going through it. A lot of people. I do watch. I try to watch as many people as I can. And everyone needs to smoke a fat fucking J, right? Chill,
Dude.
Oh, me too, DB. I used to watch Sleuth Intuition, and he was very obsessed with like the devil satanic cult angle until the Franks dropped, and then he thought all of that was bullshit. I don't know what happened there, but yikes.
Dude, they were literally where I was just listening. They were talking about how Jerry Holman just contacted them.
Yeah.
And asked them their feeling on the oral argument being approved.
Yeah. And then the other one was like, I was
Your
talking
pal?
to a judge. I'm like, you don't know a judge. Shut up.
Or if you do know a judge, it's another backwoods ass town where they're fucking all like each other.
Yeah. Yeah. And then she said that Richard Allen had sexual content in his search history. And I would love to know what that is. Because I don't consider that search history.
Porn?
I didn't see any of that there. Nothing that I would consider porn. I don't think anything on IMDb is really like porn.
No. Well,
it is a little bit. I mean, it is a subcategory now. Anyways, anything I saw in the search history, there was no sexual content.
Hi, Lacey.
It's just interesting stuff and then they were immediately like, yeah, you guys are making shit up and trying to make money off of two dead girls. And then like right after that, he's like, thank you for my donations. Like, what, dude?
Shit writes itself. You guys, Rick Allen was not in solitary confinement, okay?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Did you guys know? Because he got to see his psychologist every day. Let's see something here. Hold on. Entertain the masses while I look this up.
What are you pulling up?
I'm just gonna get the actual definition of solitary confinement.
Dude, this shirt is like itchy. I just washed it. I don't know what's going on. So if you see me like scratching this is not my track mark arm. Remember, guys, I don't shoot in my arms, only in my neck. All I said, the books Brett Talley and Kathy's daughter wrote are 1,000 times smuttier than anything Richard Allen searched.
Oh my god.
Did Brett write about ghost sex?
Ghost touching.
Ghost goosing?
Ghost touching.
Ghost touching.
And oh god, okay. Where is that thing? All right. What is solitary confinement? Solitary confinement of prisoners goes by a number of names: isolation, SHU, special housing units. Wait a minute. Administrative segregation, supermax prisons, the whole, MCU, CMU, SCGMU, voluntary or involuntary protective custody, special needs units, or permanent lockdown. Wait. So you're telling me just even administration segregation or a special housing unit is considered solitary confinement?
No. Nope. Nah.
Interesting. I was just told it's not.
Right.
Although solitary confinement conditions vary from state to state and among correctional facilities, systematic policies and conditions include confinement behind a solid steel door for 22 to 24 hours a day. That means someone will still be considered in solitary confinement if they are released for 2 hours of the 24. Got it? Okay. Severely limited contact with other human beings. Does that say no contact with other human beings? Keith? No. Infrequent phone calls and rare non-contact family visits. Wait. I was told it wasn't solitary confinement because he got to call his wife on the phone that he constantly broke, or the tablet. Excuse me.
I just had an epiphany, or a realization, if you will. All the guilters, they don't think this is solitary because they know what truly solitary is. None of their family talk to them anymore. So they're like, dude, Rick talked to his wife. He wasn't in solitary. Me, guilter, I'm in solitary. My family doesn't talk to me.
I don't talk to my family at all. No one will speak to me. God.
It's fucking Friday. Sorry.
Yeah, no. This is chill and chat plus celebrate oral arguments or celebrate oral. Everyone in the chat's been going off about oral, man.
Hope you got your HPV shots, folks.
Hey.
We're getting at it.
Hey. If they give you a tablet, you're allowed to. Here's the thing. His fucking tablet didn't work till the confessions started. He didn't even see Kathy but 2 times.
Yeah. I think you are. Like, what are they going to do? They let him eat his own shit. Like, might as well just let him take care of that business, I guess.
Restricted reading material and personal property. Restricted? Like only having a tablet? That's kind of a restriction. Anyway, okay. We get the point. Anyway. You guys, we got the amazing news that Rick Allen, his appeal, the motion for oral arguments was granted. Thank you, God. And I swear to God, when I first read the news, it felt like almost like he had been released. It was just like, I was just so stunned and I wasn't expecting it. And I guess I had absolutely zero hope for this appeal, honestly. And this granting of this oral argument motion has just given me hope I just could not have before. I thought, without a doubt, the only way he's seeing outside of that jail or prison is if we get the DNA tested of somebody else or some shit like that. So even though this may just still be, they do oral arguments and then they still deny it and has to go to the Supreme Court, I think what I've noticed with this, especially with this case, is this appeals judges, they've been very responsive. Like, as soon as it was turned in, they wanted and requested every discovery item, like all the videos of his treatment behind the cells and all that shit. They wanted all of it right away. And just granting this right away is just... it feels good. Like, I feel we know that the state's case and the shit that went on during trial was so ridiculous and crazy, but I just figured we'd just get shut down at every stop anyway before they even get a chance to really open their minds to what really went on. And this means they're forced to listen to what actually happened, and they get to ask their own questions. And I think we all know that the truth lies with the defense. So the more questions they ask, the better. What do you think?
Yeah, I think cautiously optimistic would be the best approach for this. I don't know. Just after the trial and everything falling out from that and leading up to it, You got to kind of weigh that with, do we have a lot of hope that anything good's going to happen from this case? So a little bit of hope, but we'll see. I think we'll see how compelling the arguments are. When another net positive is this is like one of the first or like second times we'll actually see anything broadcasted from this case, other than Mark's argument that the attorney should be put back on to the case. And I think before that, the one time where Goal allowed cameras in just so that she could, undress Brad and Rosie in front of everyone. Right. But I think that's also another kind of net positive to getting the word out that they're, more than just what all the wonderful people are doing. For example, what you see right in front of you right here. On top of that, there are actually people in the legal sphere that you will see arguing for Rick. And I think that's a really good thing too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, so All Eyes on Delphi created this fucking amazing website that I'm going to link right now. And we're just going to pin that. I don't know how she does it. Oh, wait, she's AI. I forgot. So she just automatically does it. But like the shit this one accomplishes is just amazing. So she created this. It's the panel. It's on her GitHub for Rick Allen. And it goes over just a lot of the details on each of the appeals judges that have been chosen to go over this appeal and who will review the case and be the judges asking questions during oral argument. And not only did she put all of their experience, but she's also discussed prior decisions they've overturned and what they mean and all that fun stuff. So let's take a look. So first up, we've got Nancy Vidic. She's got 26 years on CCA. What's CCA? Do you know? I don't know what that is. 75 plus jury trials as a prosecutor. Okay, so she's a prosecutor. 148 criminal opinions and 6 years as a chief judge. Judicial philosophy. This is where it gets interesting, okay? Vidic views the right to appeal as a constitutional guarantee, not a formality. In Young v. State, which is what we're going to read tonight, she wrote that appellate courts have an affirmative duty to ensure proof at trial is sufficient, and explicitly warned against courts that merely rubber stamp trial determinations, regardless of how unreasonable they are. She will notice sloppy briefing. She literally wrote the book on persuasive oral advocacy. Oh, wow. Didn't know that. Next up, we've got Elaine Brown, 18 years on CCA, 15 years as a trial judge, 11 years in practice, private practice, and has given 107 criminal opinions. Elaine Brown's philosophy, judicial philosophy, is Brown follows the law where it leads, even when the outcome is uncomfortable, a principle that cuts both ways, known for rigorous review on the appellate bench. On criminal justice, she has advocated that the justice system should seize opportunities to turn lives around, both in prison and upon release, and that the cost savings would be remarkable. Strong supporter of specialty courts, drug courts, veterans courts, mental health courts. I love that. That's a good sign. That gives me liberal vibes. It does. Her career-long focus on substance abuse and mental health conditions is directly relevant to the involuntary confession argument in Allen's appeal. Allen's psychotic deterioration under solitary confinement at Westwell. That's true. All right, next up, we got Robert Altice, 25 murder trials as prosecutor. 75 murder trials as the judge. Wow. 7 death penalty cases. Wow. 100 plus major felony jury trials. That's crazy. This is a beefy record. Altice's record speaks more than any single statement. He has the heaviest criminal law resume on the panel, both as a prosecutor who personally tried 25 murder cases and as a trial judge who presided over 75 murder trials and 7 death penalty cases. His master's in criminal justice administration is unique on this panel and suggests academic grounding in systemic criminal justice issues, not just legal doctrine. It's true. His experience with death penalty cases means he has sat through the highest stakes version of every procedural fight present in Allen's appeal. Search warrant challenges, confession voluntariness disputes, alternative suspect evidence, and cumulative errors arguments. His most personally significant capital case was State v. Turner in 2009, where he presided over the bench trial and life without parole sentencing of Desmond Turner for 7 murders, a case Altice later said stuck with him throughout his career. Chief judge status gives him institutional authority on the court, but does not give him extra votes. His concurrence in the Young murder reversal, joining Vidic over dissent, is the single most important indicator that he is not reflexively pro-conviction.
Wow.
Wow. Did any of this about these judges stand out to you?
Yeah. I think considering Brown's background in mental health and, well, if I can remember, Altice's background in medical malpractice, my bet would be that Wallace's head's going to get kicked in these arguments. Right? Am I,
No, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how appellate arguments work, but I think you're tickling 2 out of 3 fancies by going after, the number 2 argument that was made in the brief, which was that Rick's confession should have never even fucking made it into court at all.
Correct. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and now that we're touching on confessions, let me share this real quick. I found a post from All Eyes on X, thank God. I'm not exactly sure who she's replying to, but she says, crazy enough to attend the 3-day hearings because Harshman told the court that Richard Allen confessed to his wife on this call at the 3-day hearings. But anyone who only heard it at trial would be hard-pressed to explain how this is him actually confessing 19 days after his arrest. So again, now we keep hearing that he confessed before he was ever in solitary, ever whatever tortured. So even if he got tortured, he was already... Okay, let's read this, okay? So Kathy says, hey, are you there? Rick, hey, yeah. Kathy says, hey, okay. Rick says, I'm sorry, hun. I'm trying to keep this together. Kathy says, I know, hun. Rick says, I don't want to upset you anymore. All I want to do is to be able to help you, okay? Kathy says, yeah. Rick says, so I'm not saying anything, but if it gets to a point that it's too much for Kathy, you just need to call the investigators and tell them to come and get me and bring me to you, and I'll tell them whatever they want me to tell them. He doesn't say I'll tell them what they want to hear, which still would be questionable, right? But he's not even saying bring me the investigators, I want to confess to them, I want to tell them I did it. No, he's saying I'll tell them whatever they want me to tell them.
Correct.
Because whatever it is they want me to say, whatever that is, I did it, whatever, I'll just say it. Okay, and we all know that Rick Allen, besides having major depression, also had a codependency disorder of sorts. I don't really know the name for it.
Mm-hmm.
So Kathy was quite very much, and still is, the most important person in Rick's life. And the longer he was separated from her, the worse and worse he got. So he's basically saying he knows that what he's going through is probably affecting her, and he's so much more concerned with how this is hurting her that he's willing to throw his entire life away for her if it makes her life better. Right? That's the kind of man we're dealing with. That's not a fucking murderer of 2 little kids. Sorry. And that's not a fucking confession.
Correct. And it still is perplexing to me that people to this day will say that he wanted to confess, but he was like, for some reason, talked out of it. And it's like at any point in time, he could have said, bring Jerry Holman. You think Holman wouldn't have gotten his ass in a car, left the deli immediately? Maybe maybe like 5 minutes after he got the call.
Is being fucking nice. He was at fucking Burger King.
Whatever. And gotten his ass in the car and gone down to Westville and like, all right, Rick, let's talk. Or the FBI. Well, I think the FBI were kicked off by the time, but yeah. Also, he could have stood up any time during court, any of the hearings that he was present at, and gone, Your Honor, I need to confess to these crimes. My legal counsel is not allowing me to. I want to confess.
Right. You
think Goal's not going to go, all right, brother, go for it. Also, Andy, why are you stopping him from doing this? Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, these aren't confessions. Like, for me, if I was a juror, I would have gone, okay, it wasn't like he was like a lot of these other jailhouse calls you hear where like they're calling someone and being like, all right, whatever they ask, don't tell them we hid the body in the woods. That's not like the extent of that conversation. It's like, I think I did it. I don't even know where I fucking am right now. They're really giving me shit here. This place sucks. I don't even know how long I'm going to be like a conscious human being. That's fucking problematic. I don't care who you are.
Look at this part. He says, you don't know what I'd give to see you just one more time. I just got your message, Keith. My bad.
No, you're good.
But yeah, what I'd give to see you just one more time.
Yes, evidently I did it. There you go. Thank you.
I did it, evidently. These are not the words of a fucking heartless, cold killer. I'm sorry. They just aren't. And furthermore, it's just not a fucking confession to begin with. All right. What were you going to say?
I also think that, like, aren't they counting him saying, like, I'm ready to confess as one of the 61?
60. Oh, yeah. There's 60, but we've only played or heard so many, and the rest are, like, I guess, notes.
Like, I've only heard 5, like, I think 3, where he said, like, either I did it or evidently I did it.
Yeah.
Am I missing something? Does Tom Webster have an exclusive? Sorry.
Yeah, it's coming up next. Hey, why doesn't he get to debate the prosecutors?
Why isn't Tom Webster at the oral arguments? Maybe he is.
Dude, it sounds like from the stream we were both listening to prior to this that the guilters are going to be there.
Can you imagine Todd Rakita just marching Webster up? Betsy Blair had seen. Oh, I'd kill myself.
Dude, they're gonna be huddled up with Jerry Holman, like. And you know what I'm gonna do? Suck it, like DX.
I'm gonna be outside with a big sign that says "Someone apologize to Andy Baldwin." That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god! I'm a little, now that I know they're gonna be there, I'm a little like.
I'm not going there. I might go there to lock Snay in his U-Haul so he doesn't do anything he'll regret later. But other than that,
please God.
And then I'm hitting the coffee shop and then I'm out.
Oh God! All right, so guys, we are gonna touch on Young. This was again Marquise David Young versus the state of Indiana. Videk authored a rare murder conviction reversal on insufficient evidence. I haven't read this yet, but insufficient evidence, I am dying to see what they consider to be insufficient evidence.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's also, I would argue, it's pretty applicable to Rick's case.
Awesome. All right, so this was a decision that came May 11th, 2022. Attorney for the appellant was Sean C. Mullins, a public defender. And the state was Rakita, still Attorney General Robert M. Yoke, both out of Indianapolis, Indiana. All right, case summary. Marquise David Young was convicted of 1 count of murder and 2 counts of attempted murder for a gas station shooting in Gary. Young appeals, arguing the evidence is insufficient to prove he was the shooter. We agree and therefore reverse his convictions. Wow, that's so simply put. Facts and procedural history. Shortly before 11:45 p.m. on May 3rd, 2020, Dion Clayton, Virgil King, and A.G. Spence went to a gas station at the southwest corner of 45th Avenue and Broadway in Gary. Clayton drove Spence's Hyundai, not a fucking Hyundai, with Spence in the front passenger seat and King in the back seat. Clayton wore a bulletproof vest that night because he had a lot going on.
When I'm stressed, it's the first thing I do.
Literally, like, I have a lot going on right now, guys.
It's like an anxiety snuggie. You know, it's like a snuggie. You're feeling some type of way. You're like, man, these motherfuckers out here. I gotta put on my comfort Kevlar.
As a cop.
Yeah, as a cop, I know all about it.
Yeah, that's all KEEF does is wear bulletproof vests. So
I'm actually wearing my administrative leave bulletproof vest right now.
Yeah, so good luck getting them, guys.
That's neither here nor there. We can move on to more important things. Sorry, old people.
Oh my god, that's right. Can we talk about how KEEF is like an elder abuser, guys? Have you seen what he did?
My only
Twitter?
prejudice is the elderly.
Do you still have that? Was it a tweet you posted?
Don't put me on blast. Come on.
Okay. I won't.
No, you can't. I don't care. I'm kidding.
Okay. It's so funny.
Listen, I've seen a lot of like AI art being made against people's will. And I will reflect back on what I said when we first started the stream, which was like, everyone needs to smoke a fat fucking joint and chill. And that's when I kind of came to the conclusion, like, all right, maybe we're not going to ban people over the age of 45 like permanently for life. Maybe we'll give them like a COVID year where they need to chill.
Oh my god.
But it was getting too much.
A COVID year.
So I've apologized since. And if you don't consider my other things an apology, I apologize, old people. You're just as entertaining as young people.
KEEF said, first executive order as president. No one over the age of 45 is allowed to have a YouTube channel. We will solve the mental health pandemic overnight. Now look, I liked it and I retweeted it. So I'm not innocent here either.
This actually wouldn't be my first order as president. My first order as president would be banning Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer from any streaming service.
Can we ban Taylor Swift music in general?
Well, I'm not going to be that mean, but I'm a very selective, like, I just think that like it's the dead horse is unrecognizable at this point, folks. Okay.
Is that the one that never mind, I'm not even gonna be
Probably. You got really close.
No, you guys, it's just that the people that happen to be over 45 and do start streaming are just happen to be the crazy ones. And none of you people that are that age or older have not started your own channel because you're not crazy, okay?
Everyone kept replying going like, oh, well, I'm 42. Well, I'm 45 next year. Well, I'm 48. And then Sleuthy goes, I'm 84.
It's been 84 years.
Like these dudes, oh, this is hilarious.
Skinny said, I'm 54, but I have no content, so I'm good.
There's no way you're 54 with that sense of humor, man. You're too funny to be 54.
Too funny to be Gen X.
Oh man, the Hoosier Cold Cases one really got me because I used to watch him on like replay the loop back in the day.
That means I retire next year. Sounds good for me.
Brenda,
you already fucking retired, bro. By the time I was in the Delphi community,
I know.
You had not a single fucking stream.
Except for like he comes back for the occasional snark stream, and for that we love him.
Oh God, remember the fucking, what was it, Enlightenment to Arizona or what was
Yeah,
it?
Jody Arias.
Oh my God. Supreme snark.
I love that. And then our favorite gal was like, "This is harassment. The authorities will be notified." And every cop in Arizona is like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I got to fill out another fucking report over this."
How much you want to believe she self-reports?
Ah,
I don't know.
well,
Anyway,
the last one that we saw, I confirmed that she didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, someone actually tipped her in, which is even funnier. Look at this. Look at this. I'm 47. I'm 48. I'm 50. I'm sorry.
Until I'm 50. How are you going to do my dad like that?
I'll pardon Rick Snay.
Is that really her dad?
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I was told, but I can't tell because he doesn't speak to her in chat like she's his kid.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to like give her preferential treatment over the other mods.
Oh, yeah, it's just being smooth.
Yeah, carry the. Yeah.
Rick Snay will receive a pardon.
Yeah, where was Gray Space? She's like, I'm a youngin'. I was like, hell yeah, there you go.
All right, back to serious.
Good time. Sorry about the ADHD there.
All right, back. Okay. Shortly before 11:45, I know I read this, but shortly before 11:45 p.m. on May 3rd, 2020, Dion Clayton, Virgil King, and A.J. Spence went to a gas station at the southwest corner of 45th Avenue and Broadway in Gary. Clayton drove Spence's Hyundai with Spence in the front passenger seat and King in the back seat. Clayton wore a bulletproof vest that night because he had a lot going on. Just before Clayton, King, and Spence arrived at the gas station, Young, this is the person that got convicted of the murder, was inside the store. Clayton and King knew Young. Young, who was wearing a black hooded coat with a white shirt underneath, dark pants, a black stocking cap, and white shoes, smoked a cigarette while making a purchase and then exited the store. Clayton, King, and Spence were in the Hyundai at the gas station, but had not yet pulled up to a pump when Young exited the store and got in his car. Young started to drive forward from the pump, but was prevented from doing so because the Hyundai was pulling up to the pump in front of him. Young backed out, drove around the pumps, and turned left onto 45th Avenue. He passed an alley and then turned right onto Washington Street, which is parallel to the alley. The following diagram, which is for illustrative purposes only and is not drawn to scale, shows Young's direction of travel as he left the gas station. As Young pulled out of the gas station, Clayton pulled up to a pump. The back of the Hyundai was against 45th Avenue, and he and King went inside the store. After making a purchase and exiting the store, King got in the back seat of the Hyundai while Clayton walked over to the adjacent pump to talk to his uncle, who had since pulled up. While sitting in the back seat, King heard 2 gunshots followed by several more. The shots came from behind the Hyundai, from the direction of 45th Avenue, and King did not see the shooter because he was faced the other direction. King saw Clayton, who had been shot in the abdomen and the right arm, run south from the gas station toward 46th Avenue. About 15 shots were fired into the Hyundai, one of which hit King in the back. King climbed into the driver's seat and drove away with Spence, who was not shot. King was later treated at a hospital for his gunshot wound. Upon hearing the gunshots, nearby police officers responded to the gas station. The police secured the area and recovered 23 bullet casings, but a gun was never found. The police also spotted blood and followed the trail. Clayton was found dead about 2 blocks south of the gas station. Oh, so he got shot and just ran off? Weird. The police didn't find any eyewitnesses who could identify the shooter, but they found 3 surveillance cameras in the area. Oh, look at that. Surveillance cameras exist. Wouldn't you know it? 1 at the gas station, 2 at Bugsy's Tavern. I like the name of that, Bugsy's Tavern, which is diagonal from the gas station on the northeast corner of Broadway and 45th Avenue, and 3 in the alley behind 4444 Broadway, which is north of the gas station. These locations are noted on the diagram above, although the police couldn't identify the shooter from any of the surveillance videos. They noticed that a person in the alley around the time of the shooting appeared to discard a lit cigar or cigarette. In an attempt to locate the item on May 5th, 2 days after the shooting, Detective Christopher Adams went inside the control room at 4444 Broadway, while Detective Antoine Jakes, the lead investigator in this case, went to the alley. While watching the old footage and watching the live footage of Detective Jakes outside, Detective Adams was able to direct Detective Jakes to where the item appeared to be discarded in the footage. Oh, no.
You get better.
Oh, no. Upon spotting a cigarette in the area, Detective Jakes called an evidence technician who came... Wait, hold on. Upon spotting a cigarette in the area, Detective Jakes called an evidence technician who came to the scene to photograph the cigarette and collect it for evidentiary purposes. Although there were other cigarettes in the alley, according to Detective Jakes and the evidence technician, the cigarette collected was the only one in the area. The case then went cold. In the fall, Detective Jakes got a tip from an anonymous caller to look at Young. Ooh, who the fuck did, who did that? Detective Jakes sent the cigarette to the Indiana State Police laboratory for DNA testing, which revealed Young's DNA on the cigarette. What? That's fucking convenient.
Yep.
In December 2020, the state charged Young with 1 count of murder of Clayton and 2 counts of attempted murder for King and Spence. At the jury trials, the state's theory was as follows. Young left the gas station by turning left on 45th Avenue and then right on Washington Street. He parked his car somewhere on the north side of the alley. He ran south through the alley, discarding a cigarette. He walked across 45th Street to the edge of the gas station and fired 23 shots at Clayton and the Hyundai. And he walked back across 45th Avenue, north through the alley and to his parked car. The state pieced together its theory of the shooter's movements by relying largely on the fact that Young's DNA was on the cigarette found in the alley 2 days after the shooting, and the 4444 Broadway and Bugsy's Tavern footage, which the state acknowledged was of such poor quality that the shooter couldn't be identified. The footage from the gas station, which is in color, showed Young, Clayton, and King while they were inside the store. It also showed Clayton and King exiting the store and King getting in the Hyundai and Clayton walking up to his uncle's car. Although the shooting occurred just off camera, the footage showed the lower half of the shooter's body approaching the gas station from 45th Avenue, wearing dark pants and white shoes, and Clayton running south from the gas station. The footage from Bugsy's Tavern showed that a dark figure appeared at the mouth of the alley, crossed 45th Avenue, and walked to the edge of the gas station. The person started shooting a gun in the direction of the Hyundai. After shooting, the dark figure ran back across 45th Avenue and in the direction of the mouth of the alley. The footage from 4444 Broadway was captured by an infrared camera on the backside of the building facing northwest into the alley. Detective Sanders described the alley as being in residential business neighborhood with a lot of people and a bunch of houses and where people often congregate. The footage is in black and white, and the alley for the most part is dark. In the footage, a person ran south in the alley from the direction of the 45th Avenue toward the gas station on 45th Avenue. The person appeared to discard a lit cigar or cigarette on the ground. Less than 2 minutes later, a person walked north in the alley from the direction of the gas station on 45th Avenue towards 44th. Though it is hard to see details, the person running south and walking north in the alley appeared to be wearing white or light-colored shoes and a white or light-colored hat or do-rag. Young wasn't wearing them. Although a gun was never found, Detective Samuel Perez, a forensic firearms examiner, oh boy, testified about the 23 casings found at the scene. He said the caliber for all of the casings was a .40 caliber, and the casings were fired from the same firearm, which had a Glock-type firing pin most commonly known from a Glock firearm. However, Detective Perez acknowledged there are other manufacturers that have the same type of firing pin. Oh, you mean like other manufacturers that have the same...
Mm-hmm.
Finally, evidence was presented that a search of Young's phone revealed his Google location data was turned off for May 3rd through 4th, but on for May 5th. Young had also searched YouTube videos for how to clean and disassemble a Glock 40 caliber in the week or two following the shooting on May 3rd. Also, Rachel, is it Rachel or Rochelle? Let me know. But she said, forgive me, what is this about? So I'm reading the decision that two of Rick's appellate judges, they overturned this murder conviction. Two of the same ones together both concurred on this decision that are now going to be hearing Rick's case. So it's getting...
And that's Vidic and Altice.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And there's a lot of, I personally think there's a lot of parallels in this to Rick's case.
I mean,
so
yeah, there is. Okay. During closing arguments, the state told the jury it was a hard case, a difficult case, and one that I expect you to deliberate long on. Indeed, no eyewitnesses could identify the shooter. There was no evidence of motive or where Young's car went after turning right onto Washington Street, and the gun used was never found. Several people didn't testify, including Spence and Clayton's uncle, but ultimately the state believed it had proved the identity of the shooter the only way available, that is, through Young's DNA on the cigarette found in the alley 2 days after the shooting. The jury found Young guilty as charged, and the trial court sentenced him 115 years. Young now appeals. Discussion and decision. Young contends the evidence is insufficient to support his convictions. When reviewing such claims, we neither reweigh the evidence nor judge the credibility of witnesses. Betsy, you bet your bottom dollar ass you're lucky. Yep. She's like, oh my God. Okay. We will only consider the evidence supporting the verdict and any reasonable inferences that can be drawn from the evidence. A conviction will be affirmed if there is substantial evidence of probative value to support each element of the offense, such that a reasonable trier of fact could have found the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Circumstantial evidence alone may be sufficient to support a conviction. Young doesn't dispute he was at the gas station, just like Rick doesn't dispute he was at the bridge that day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he does dispute, though? That he was there at the same time as the girls.
Or that was his fucking car on the Hoosier Harvester camera.
That too. And you know who didn't have DNA at the scene? Rick Allen.
Depends on who you ask.
Oh.
If you ask Coleman, the unspent round is just as good as DNA.
Oh, God.
Just kidding. Just fucking with you.
DB said this is very on the nose. Young doesn't dispute he was at the gas station at the same time as Clayton, King, and Spence, or that he left the gas station by turning left on 45th Avenue and then right on Washington Street. Rather, Young's sole argument is that the state failed to prove, beyond a reasonable doubt, he returned to the gas station and did the shooting. The key evidence relied upon by the state was Young's DNA on the cigarette found in the alley 2 days after the shooting, almost like a bullet found 2 days later. In the same general area.
Except this one, they actually have pictures of them collecting the butt. So.
Oh, at least they did that.
This was more thorough than the homicide.
Yeah, this is more thorough.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Where the person in the alley footage discarded the lit object. Young, however, argues it can't be certain that the recovered cigarette, in fact, came from the individual on the video, especially considering that 2 days had passed between the shooting and when the cigarette was recovered in the high traffic alley. He highlights Detective Adams' testimony. There were other cigarette butts in the alley on May 5th, and he didn't know whether the cigarette collected on May 5th, which had Young's DNA on it, was the same cigarette that had been discarded on May 3rd in the 4444 Broadway footage. This evidence shows only that sometime before May 5th, a cigarette with Young's DNA was left in the alley in the same general area where the person in the 4444 Broadway footage discarded the lit object on May 3rd. Young also argues that a simple comparison between the individual in the alleyway and the Young at the gas station minutes earlier demonstrates that the two are not the same person. Young points out that he was wearing a I knew I was right. Young points out he was wearing a black stocking cap in the gas station footage, while the person on the Broadway footage was wearing a white or light colored head covering. When I read white or light, I was like, he was not wearing white.
Black or blue? Tan or blue?
Yeah. Oh, good.
Love you, bloody.
This is good.
It's good. I'm telling you, this was the one that like stood out to me the most.
This is like uplifting.
Maybe I missed some shit in the other ones, but this one was like,
what sorcery is this? Light?
Oh, it's like, oh shit, here we go, Earthquake 2.0.
All right, so okay, a dark. What?
He also acknowledged a light colored hat could show up light on an infrared camera. I think you started at 19.
A dark colored object that is warm shows up lighter than a dark colored object that is cool. As a result, he said he couldn't determine whether the person's hat or clothing in the 4444 Broadway footage was a particular color. But on cross-examination, Detective Sanders acknowledged that if someone was wearing a black suit and a white shirt, the white shirt would appear lighter than the black suit. Yeah. He also acknowledged a light-colored hat would show up light on an infrared camera. Young also points out the gas station footage shows he has a thicker frame. Get it. Thicker frame, while the Bugsy's Tavern footage shows that the shooter had a visibly thinner frame. Like tall and 5'5". I don't know. It feels like it. At trial, the state asked Detective Sanders if the fact that the Bugsy's Tavern footage was transposed affected the height and weight.
Yep.
Almost like that cell phone video was transposed, affected the height and weight proportions of the bridge guy.
Or, I don't know, cheating on Sarah Carbaugh's description of.
Oh, yeah. However, defense counsel objected, and the state withdrew the question. Notwithstanding Young's arguments on appeal and at trial, the state's entire case consisted of the following evidence. Young's DNA was on a cigarette found in the alley 2 days after the shooting in the same general area where the person in the alley footage discarded a lit object. Young was at the gas... Okay, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. The state's entire case consisted of the following evidence. Young's DNA was on a cigarette found in the alley 2 days after the shooting in the same general area. Rick, supposedly the bullet found 2 days after the murder in the general area of where the girls' bodies were found, supposedly matches Rick's gun. Okay. Young was at the gas station minutes before the shooting. Rick was at the bridge, probably like 2 hours, an hour and a half before.
And left an hour before.
Yeah. Young searched the internet a week or two after the shooting about how to clean and disassemble a weapon that could have been used in the shooting, but no one could say was definitively the kind of weapon used in the shooting. And Young turned off his Google location data the day of and the day after the shooting. This evidence falls short of a substantial evidence of probative value, circumstantial or not, required to support the verdict.
Can I say something real quick?
Please.
When Michael Osbrook makes his way back from his son's, I'm sure, wonderful wedding,
woohoo!
I would love to ask him how many times he's seen the sentence, notwithstanding defendant's arguments on appeal and at trial, the state's entire case consisted of the following evidence. If I am Teddy Rokita, I am not feeling good about the fact that two of these judges on the panel use that phrasing.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty much like, hey, here's the shit that you guys have. It's not much. That's how I interpret it.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
No, yeah.
Rochelle said a melted snowman. That whole case was.
Oh my god, for real.
I love that one.
I'm trying to.
You were on 21.
I was okay. Did I finish 21? Oh yeah. This case is distinguishable. I remembered Meehan. I was like Meehan. This case is distinguishable from Meehan v. States. In that case, an employee locked an overhead door upon leaving work for the day. When he came back early the next morning, a panel of the overhead door had been removed. Excuse me. And items had been taken. Immediately inside the overhead door, a glove that was not there the day before contained the defendant's DNA. Here, Young's DNA was on a cigarette found in the alley in the same general area where the person in the alley footage discarded a lit object. But the cigarette was found 2 days after the shooting in a high-traffic public alley. This fact alone distinguishes this case from Meehan. Yeah. While they seldom reverse for insufficient evidence, we have an affirmative duty to ensure the proof at trial is sufficient to support the verdict beyond a reasonable doubt. Although the sufficiency of the evidence standard of review is deferential, it is not impossible to overcome, nor should it be. Read that again.
What's up?
No, I'm just reading this again. Although the sufficiency of the evidence standard of review is deferential, it is not impossible to overcome, nor should it be. As our Supreme Court has observed, the Indiana Constitution guarantees in all cases an absolute right to one appeal. Galloway v. State, an impossible standard of review under which appellate courts merely rubber stamp the fact finder's determination, no matter how unreasonable, would raise serious constitutional concerns because it would make the right to an appeal illusory. I don't know how you say that. The evidence in this case comes nowhere close to proof beyond a reasonable doubt. We therefore, holy fuck, this is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In reciting the applicable standard of review, the majority acknowledges that the circumstantial evidence alone may be sufficient to support a conviction. But the majority fails to mention that on appeal, the circumstantial evidence need not overcome every reasonable hypothesis of innocence. It is enough if an inference reasonably tending to support the verdict can be drawn from the circumstantial evidence. It is the fact finder's role, not that of the appellate courts, to assess witness credibility and weigh the evidence to determine whether it is sufficient to support a conviction. We must affirm a conviction if the finder of fact heard evidence of probative value from which it could have inferred the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. The majority has disregarded this well-settled standard of review and essentially accepted at face value the hypothesis of innocence that Young presented to the jurors, who considered and weighed all the evidence and unanimously found him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt on all three counts. The evidence supporting the jurors' verdicts and the reasonable inferences that can be drawn from that evidence are more than sufficient to affirm Young's convictions. States Exhibit 196, a composite of camera footage from the gas station, Bugsy's Tavern, that was published as a demonstrative exhibit during the state's closing argument and rebuttal, provides a compelling unified video narrative of the events surrounding the shootings. As for Detective Sanders' testimony regarding the video's inconsistent timestamps, it is axiomatic that the fact finder is obliged to determine not only whom to believe, but also what portions of conflicting testimony to believe, and is not required to believe a witness's testimony even when it is contradicted. Thus, jurors were not bound to accept the detective's statements that the timestamp for the Broadway footage was dead-on accurate, nor were the jurors bound to accept Young's argument that the gas station footage shows he has a thicker frame, while the Bugsy's Tavern footage shows the shooter had a visibly thinner frame. The tavern camera was located much farther away, positioned at a much different angle. Our Supreme Court has held that an appellate court may not overturn a factual finding based on a video recording unless the video evidence at issue indisputably contradicts that finding, when no reasonable person can view the video and come to a different conclusion. Well, can come to plenty of fucking conclusions over here, buddy. than that of the appellate court. In my view, the Bugsy's Tavern video does not indisputably contradict the jurors' unanimous finding that Young was the shooter depicted in that video. Who is the third that didn't agree? Is that what we're reading?
I think that's the dissent.
Okay.
Or wait, no, I think that they might just be acknowledging that there is like valid evidence in this, but the kind of, they were pretty much saying like you had it, but the link you had between who you thought was the shooter and Young wasn't entirely there.
Okay. On May 3rd, 2020, Young entered the gas station convenience store moments before Clayton, King, and Spence arrived. Both Clayton and King knew Young. One of the store's interior surveillance videos showed Young holding a cell phone and a lighted cigarette and dressed in a black stocking cap, dark coat and pants, and white shoes with black markings. As Young exited the store and walked toward his car, one of the store's exterior surveillance videos showed him looking in the direction of the Hyundai driven by Clayton, which had arrived but not yet pulled up to a pump. Young attempted to drive forward on 45th Avenue, but was unable to do so because Clayton was driving the Hyundai toward the pump directly in front of him. Young backed up, exited the parking lot, and ultimately turned north onto Washington Street. Seconds later, Clayton and King entered the store to purchase beverages. While Clayton and King were inside the store, the infrared camera at Broadway captured a figure wearing what appears to be a stocking cap and carrying a lighted cigarette, running southward down the alley towards 45th Avenue. Based on Detective Sanders' testimony, the jury reasonably could have inferred that the infrared camera made the stocking cap appear lighter in color due to the running figure's body heat. The figure tossed the glowing cigarette butt to the ground and kept running. Okay, the ground, I thought they found it in a trash can. The cigarette from the DNA didn't come from a trash can? Hold on, let me look at this real quick. Where am I at? I'm on number 5.
I think it just said in the alley.
Hold on here. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it said yeah, I found it on the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, wait until y'all find out where Marquise Young is now. Okay, let's look at the footnotes. The state sought to admit evidence through King about the nature of the relationship, but the trial court ruled it was inadmissible. What is this regarding? Oh, I thought it was going to send me to that. Oh, it is. Okay, good. Just before Clayton, King, and Spence arrived at the gas station, Young was inside the store. Clayton and King both knew Young. The footnote for that is the state sought to admit evidence through King about the nature of the relationship. The trial court ruled it was inadmissible. Number 2, the record is unclear when the cigarette was sent to the lab or when the results came back. According to the probable cause affidavit, the cigarette was sent to the lab in September 2020 after the anonymous tip was received, and the results showing the DNA on the cigarette resulted in a high stringency with Young came back November 11th, 2020. After Young had been charged, the police obtained a buccal swab from him in the Lake County Jail. The buccal swab from Young matched the DNA from the cigarette. On appeal, the state argues that Young researched how to clean and disassemble the precise model of the firearm used in the shooting. But as just explained above, the record isn't clear about the precise model of firearm used. The state also argues Young later disposed of the murder weapon, but the state cites no evidence to support this. 4, Young also argues the person in the alley was incapable of being the shooter and that it was likely the shooter simply walked east down 45th towards Broadway before crossing over upon reaching the gas station. He highlights the timestamp for the Broadway footage, shows the person in the alley at the exact time, the timestamp for the Bugsy's Tavern footage shows the shooting occurred. Oh. Interesting. We do not rely on the discrepancies in the footage that Young points out on appeal. even though they are apparent. Detective Jakes testified that Glock 40 caliber handguns can carry extended magazines containing more than 23 rounds of ammunition. The Meehan court also found it significant that when the defendant was taken into custody on a street corner 7 months after the burglary, he possessed bolt cutters, a pocket knife, a screwdriver, a chisel, and 2 Allen key sets. But did he have a box cutter? The world may never know.
You know?
It went down in Gary, Indiana.
As it always does.
Okay, so Marquise Young, we're looking up where he is now. Okay. What are your thoughts on that in comparison to Rick's case?
Well, if I'm looking at just like what's being written in the discussion and decision, I don't know. No eyewitnesses were able to identify Young. I think they said that like 3 times from what I jotted down. What? Don't believe that. Do not believe DB saying he's a Supreme Court justice. He very well could be. I'm just telling you not to believe anything DB says. Don't.
Damn. Okay, hold on. Judge.
That's like Bob bait.
I'm falling for it.
That's Bob level bait.
I can't find anything like that. I was just talking about the reversal.
Okay.
Anyway, so
the cigarette was recovered late. There were other butts there, and they had one discarded on videos. The surveillance footage was terrible. It didn't specifically identify Young as the shooter, so that wasn't the reason for necessarily the reversal. But I think the fact that was even mentioned in there, the element of it, no motive really, other than that, what they knew each other, that possibly, or he was almost backed into, maybe.
I know it, and I'm gonna fucking prove it.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's sus when you turn your location off and you like look
that's
up
sus.
how to clean a gun. I mean, but anyone can. If you have a gun, you're going to look up how to clean it if you want to clean it properly. But
that's also still more than they have on Rick.
Yeah, to disassemble it, that's another thing. But even, this panel was like, that's not enough for us. I think that speaks volumes.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm happy to have hope that there was at least one example where 2 of them came to a decision. Uh-oh, here we go. Let me
Nice.
I gotta click it. I gotta click it.
Did he appeal again?
Hold on. The Supreme Court affirmed defendant's convictions for murder. Oh no.
Whoops.
No.
Well, we need to.
It's like the literal opposite of what Bob says is going to happen to Rick.
We need to walk before we can run, okay?
Can you imagine? I would die. Can you imagine?
What? If the Supreme Court
Yeah, so the
affirmed?
they overturn Rick. New trial. The Supreme Court's like,
Watch those conspiracy theories run rampant.
oh god.
The Supreme Court's in the Dropbox.
Oh god.
We know it. We just can't tell you because we're under NDA.
By the way, is everyone now very aware of that Erica, Morris, and Christine were never actually private investigators for the defense? They never were. Are we all aware of that now? In chat, give me a yes or no. Because the more they go on and talk about what they did for this case, the more
There's 9 cameras on the Hoosier Harvest Store.
Okay. Glad everyone's aware. Never.
There's 9.
Wait, so did Christine talk about it on one of her lives?
Yeah, this last one, they were talking about how they got sent on a special assignment by Andy to after Andy berated her, Christine, in front of a lot of people who were leaving the courthouse. They got put on special assignment to go visit the Hoosier Harvest Store because for some reason they got sent there after the defense already had all the discovery for the Hoosier Harvest Store, and they were sent to go count all the cameras. My theory is that Christine started on one side and Erica started on the other, and they all counted 4, and then added their, like, Erica's 4 with Christine's 4, and then they just maybe added another camera for theatrics.
PPM, you said fill me in. What part are you not getting?
So okay, so if I'll give you the quick rundown. If you guys didn't watch, because you didn't, let's be honest, you didn't. Prop Live last night, Erica and Christine were on, and they were talking about one of the things that had happened during the trial was they were given autopsy information during the trial for some reason. Never explained why, but that was like, I think, again, my theory is that they're just hinting shit out there to, like, show that they were a part of this, which it's like, cool. We still have yet to hear what you actually did. And then they apparently, Andy sent them on, like, a special assignment to go count the cameras in the Hoosier Harvest Store.
Yeah, get the fuck away from me.
That's what's that?
He said, "Get the fuck away from me. Go do something."
Right. It was like sending your kid on an Easter egg hunt. You're like, right. How many cameras did you find? Right. Anyways, they counted 9 somehow, even though there's video from back in the day. The Hoosier Harvest Store has pretty much 4 exterior. That's also what's on the fucking FBI inventory report. And yeah, even today, if you can Google map it, and it's no longer the Hoosier Harvest Store, it's the, like, Hoosier U stores. Oh, it's U Storage. U Storage. Yeah, there's no more than 4 in that building. There is one on the front that's facing out that we still have a question about. However, the problem therein lies that I think they got their. I think they both counted 4, then just added it. Like, how many do you have? I have 4. How many do you have? 4. Oh, it's 8, and then we'll just add another one or something.
Just in case, for safe
just
bet.
in case, for the memes, I guess. But and then they did nothing with it. Apparently, they talked to Kathy and Pennington, the co-owner of the Hoosier Harvest Store at the time, and she said, "I'll have to check with Nikki." And they made a big deal about how a man whose name was Nicholas had a nickname, as if everyone in a small town doesn't know each other already.
Right.
So, yeah, it was useless. And then when they were asked very pointed, serious questions, all they did was hide behind this imaginary NDA that apparently still exists. So they were able to share that. Andy,
there is an NDA. There is an NDA.
Okay. I would be interested to see what that NDA covers, because it still perplexes me that they were able to talk about the things that they talked about, but then whenever they got some questions, like what the NDA says, you can talk about going to the Hoosier Harvest Store, but you can't talk about that.
I'm pretty sure that NDA was up the second Rick got convicted.
Yeah, they also mentioned the gag too, which was up the second Rick got convicted. Yeah. Not the second, but I think days later. Anyways, yeah, it's unbelievable because it's not believable.
Right. So I just hope people, like, don't take them fucking. I mean, I know a lot of us never took them seriously, but, like, it's just cuckoo town out here in these streets, guys. Cuckoo town.
Yeah, if you take them seriously, that's on you.
True.
If you take them seriously, that's your personal decision. Again, it still perplexes me. I'd love to see what is constituted in the NDA, what they can talk about, what they can't. Because it's like you could tell everyone that you went to the Hoosier Harvest Store and you counted the cameras. You could tell us how many cameras, according to your count, exist, but you can't tell us a bunch of other things because you're under NDA. Like, right. Where do you draw the line?
Right.
because it doesn't fucking exist.
So September 21st is going to be the oral arguments in Indianapolis, right?
Correct.
Hopefully we'll be there. I'm almost more excited now finding out like guilters might be there actually, because then I could have a good time. I could have so much
I will
fun.
not be there.
I wish. I need you. Bring your girlfriend. We'll make it a party.
I'm not subjecting her to any of that.
Any of those crazies, yeah. No, because you'd go because if someone said the wrong thing, you would go off probably. I want to go.
This is worried about her going off.
Hell yeah, my kind of lady.
I know.
Everyone's like, I want to go. I might go. I think that if we can show a strong presence for Rick for just the oral arguments, that will go a long way for the media presence that's going to be there. And so I think if the more of us can be there, the more amazing it'll be. Do not get yourself arrested. Girl, I'm hiding from fucking Jerry Holman and fucking Nick. Unless Nick wants that blowy. But he's got to let Rick out. That's the only thing. Nick, you'll get your blowy, but you got to let Rick out. Okay? Okay. And apparently I'm really good at it because I'm in my 30s and I still wear choker necklaces. That's what someone just told me.
I'm going to laugh when he's like, all right, deal. And then he releases Rick and he's like, all right, where's my Coke? And you're like, what? And you're like,
Coke?
He said blow.
Oh!
He's like, I don't give a fuck about that
I
other
don't
shit.
give a fuck.
Oh my
I don't give a fuck about Croco. I want cocaine. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, this is going to be a much shorter one. I am just so excited that we at least have a little hope, even if it ends up not being a thing. I'm just happy we have something to make us feel a little more positive. And hopefully a bunch of us that are going to try to show up for the oral arguments, maybe we could set up a plan of all of us meeting together, unless you're fucking weird and crazy, because I will not hesitate to tell you that you're fucking weird and to get away from me.
Yep. And there's, from what we've heard, there's still hope after, if this doesn't get reversed, and, there's still some there. But also, I think it's a good indicator. Right now we're able to say like, all right, things are fucked up in this like really dumbass like podunk county in Indiana,
Right.
But the higher and higher this goes, the scarier. I mean, I already don't have a lot of hope looking at things at a national level, but shit.
Look at this. By the way, guys, you might also notice a lot of the Delphi trolls are back on Twitter because of this decision.
Yeah, Kathy Clandenning's alt account. Still wild.
Going crazy. Wouldn't that be wild if like one of these is Becky Patty?
Oh god. Dude, I mean, if it is, it's like, I don't know. Show face. Like, no, like you're already doing $1,500 meet and greets at CrimeCon. You might as well just have an actual Twitter account.
I'm sorry, I'm not fucking catch you looking at Rodale. Fucking drag you down, Rodale, while your fucking ass just fucking stomp you. I'll fucking curb stomp you. I'm sorry.
That's what I have to say about any of those fucking people. I love you all. Have an amazing night.
Smell you later.
See you later.